We're not ready for that yet.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. And to the republic which stands one nation, America, and liberty is for all.
There's no changes to the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the agenda?
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Secretary's report.
Everything A-okay? Excellent typing? Nine yards.
Okay, if everything's all right, entertain a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer's report.
From last statement, starting balance is $1,956,429.42. There was 21 deposits in the account, $32,000, $32,682.31. 44 debits to account in the amount of $335,241.15, leaving an ending balance of $1,653,870.58. Ask for a motion to approve. Subject to audit.
Have a motion to approve, subject to audit.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve the bills.
I asked for approval of the bills in the amount of $138,866.51.
Have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the bills?
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chief and fire marshal's reports.
Chief's report for August 18th. Hold on, I got a lot of stuff in front of me. Fleet status. After 3 weeks at the Detroit dealer, Squad 12 is back in service and not entirely fixed. Truck is still showing a check engine error code that it went down there for. And after speaking with the company, they admit it was their fault and they're sending out a mobile technician to correct the code. The truck is still showing, but it is in service now. They don't have an issue with it running. $12.99, the AC unit stopped working. AOK RV determined it needed to be replaced. They only charge us $980 for the unit plus the install fee, so we got a really good deal. ODN came out and replaced the last part that was supposed to be the last part for the satellite dish, and then he found another issue. So the unit is in service. We're just waiting on another part now. Engine 42 began experiencing electrical issues. Then all the lights stopped working completely. Captain Moreland went out to make repairs and found a whole mess of other issues with the wiring. So he and I spent the better part of a day working on that, and it remains out of service awaiting parts. He's actually working on it as we speak. But engine 12 has been assigned to station 4 in place of 42. New Brush 26, Captain Moreland continues to do what he can, but Havas sent us the wrong radio mounts. So they told us it'll be 4 to 6 weeks before the correct ones come in. And I've asked them to expedite the order because I think that's absolutely ridiculous. So fingers crossed they come sooner. Headquarters roadway easements. Our neighbor is constructing a new home behind headquarters. His driveway goes through our property on the northwest corner. And he was granted an easement in 1979. That's what me and Mike were just discussing by the owners of the property at that time. This was for access, as far as I can tell, not for utilities, which he also wants to run natural gas up the easement. And he plans on making improvements to what will effectively be his driveway. So Mike's looking into that. I'll pull this up so everybody can see here in a second. But I have a meeting with the homeowner tomorrow to kind of go over everything. Oh, did I close? I hope I didn't put that. Did I put that? Nope, there it is. Panic there for a second. Okay. So basically the area we're talking about is this highlighted green section right here. You can kind of see where he's on the satellite, where they've been doing dirt work, and it kind of just catches the corner of our station. or of our headquarters property. He wanted to put a gate on Porter Mill, which I'm gonna tell him it needs to be at the property line. Kenny's been talking to him about a couple of different things each time he's gone out there. And then while we were at the fire marshal's conference last week, he emailed Kenny and said, hey, I'm gonna be running natural gas next week, so if your chief's got any questions, let me know. And I have a big concern about that, which I reached out to him and expressed it, because I don't think he has the rights to do that. So, I turned it over to Mike. I'm gonna meet with the gentleman tomorrow and see what paperwork he's got, because the easement's not clearly defined. So we're gonna see, kind of put our heads together and see what we come up with. So that's kind of where we're at with that right now. And to be honest with you, and until Kenny came across this when he started building, I didn't even know they had an easement back there. So
Would Mike need to be with you tomorrow?
I don't want to bring a lawyer in tomorrow on it yet. This is just supposed to be a nice civil meeting between me and the homeowner. He seems like I've only talked to him over email. Kenny's talked to him in person several times. Seems like a really nice guy. I don't want to intimidate him or anything like that. Let's just have a civil conversation and go from there.
Does he have to run the gas up that green space?
No,
Then
it's easier from what I can tell.
Why run over that corner? Why can't he just come right off?
Let me suggest something to the board. Matters pertaining to real estate can be discussed in closed session as opposed to open. And I would recommend we do it that way.
That was going to be my next statement. So,
Or you're too late.
I'm sorry, no, that's why you're here. Thank you very much. And we can add a closed session to the agenda if you want to. So, but that's where we're at this point. Headquarters, I acquired an outside dining set and barbecue pit for headquarters, so we still have to clean them up, but we now have a nice sitting area out back. The ice maker stopped working. Warren Service has been notified. The new AC unit had a clogged drain at one house, and it stopped working, so it overflowed into the hallway. There appears to be no real damage to this. Kenny had a fan and everything set up, so it's all dried out, vacuumed up. Doesn't look like we have any major issues. Staffing, firefighter Johnson completed his fourth quarter skills. He will complete probation and acquire the next pay grade upon completing his EMT license. Firefighter Schneider will be returning to full duty the first part of September. And probationary firefighter Hollingsworth has started her EMT school as well. Mental health check-ins. All members have completed their mental health check-ins as previously reported. This is required by law every 2 years. Through first, our resident clinician performed the check-ins over 3 shifts, and this was at no cost to the district. We will be doing these annually rather than biannually to ensure the well-being of our people. Dispatching, Camden County 911 has moved forward with testing repeater sites throughout the county before moving agencies around on their radio system. Any changes will have to be programmed into our radios, but since I handle that, programming will be no cost. I have offered my programming services to a few of the volunteer agencies around us that can't afford a change like that. So we will update the board as the info is available, but they keep changing the plan and how we're going to do everything. So at this point, I really don't know what they're going to do. But I showed this to our guys, and I'll show this to you too. It's nothing private. This is what the dispatchers look at when they're sitting at the dispatch console currently. And I don't want you to focus on the gray area. That's just for sight or for aesthetics. But this console is chock full. They can't put anything else on it. And the problem is the fire districts are here. They got a couple other districts over here, and they cannot talk to all of us at the same time. So any more than 4 fire districts, and they have to start moving us to other channels because they can't talk to everybody. It's becoming a real big issue as more and more districts are increasing in call volume, and it's just gonna turn into a real bad situation if they don't get a handle on it. So what I suggested was we switch at the top left. Those are the 3 sheriff's office channels, actually 5 sheriff's office channels. I suggest that we all just switch to those and just everybody's on that, then you can talk to everybody. That sounded like a great idea, and then they came up with a different way of doing it, where they're gonna combine a couple of our districts. It wouldn't affect us. I think everybody being on 3 channels is better, but it's not my call. So, at the end of the day, though, this is what they're looking at. And for a dispatch console, this is absolutely packed. Like, they can't get anything else on. So, we're working with them still. That's all I have to say about that. Command truck, Lake County purchased the command truck, and the county's command bus has been disassembled and sold. The new truck has a lot of the same communications functions as ours, except we have satellite, but will not be able to be deployed to small areas. I'm working with Deputy Chief Amsinger on a deployment package for large-scale incidents in the region, to where those 2 units would be deployed in different areas and work in conjunction with one another. But they have copied all of our radio programming to ensure seamless continuity and usability. So, the website, new law goes into effect April 2026. It requires government websites to be ADA compliant, and that every document and verbiage on the website has to be able to be read by somebody with disabilities. The increased cost for the service is $250 to set it up, $490 a year to maintain. But as it's coming into law, I told our web designer to go ahead and add it to our service. So it went live today. Shootout 2025. I'm gonna offer overtime to, actually I already did. I filled the 3 spots both days. To our members to staff Marine 39 and keep it on the water the weekend of the shootout. They will not be directly involved with the shootout, but Chief Weaver and I have talked in depth about this, and we have some serious concerns about the light traffic on the main channel, especially coming in and going out to the start of the event. So to that end, we're just gonna go ahead and staff 39, so 3 houses are stuck out there. You know, we keep the station in service and just staff the boat. So that's what we're gonna do, at least the first year in the new location. And if we feel, at this point, we just feel we need a presence on the water for those 2 days. So, we're gonna.
Where's it gonna be though?
The shootout?
No.
Oh, we're gonna move it down a little bit, more towards like the villages. About the 19th.
Okay.
And their orders are just to cove out. They can move around if they feel they need to, or go investigate. It's up to them, like a water patrol, for lack of a better term. But we want to just keep them in that area so that because all the boats that are committed are all the boats on that side of the lake, and they're going to be on that side of the Glaze Arm Bridge. So they're not going to be available for anything.
Try to
Right.
navigate through if an accident happens on the side, so.
You could probably stage up down at Paradise or something like that, or
That's a little too far down.
Red Yacht Club.
Paradise is
Kellysport.
actually the cutoff right there for 29 and 39. So 29 will go up to Paradise anyways. So just looking at it, we just figured the villages is an easy place. They got an area that we can already park the boat and nobody's gonna yell at us. So we just figured we'd put it there and they can go get their lunch or whatever they need to while they're out. So Cannonball Run, based on social media postings, the Cannonball Run has kind of morphed into from a west side event to a lake area event. Many of the events are not going to be in our district now, so we will still monitor and see what we need to do for future deployments. But I don't believe this is going to be a big issue for us at all. So the tax hearing, what seems to be a growing trend, the state and the counties were late getting our tax forms to us again this year. What should have arrived mid-July got here last week. Morgan County's arrived today. So thankfully I don't need Morgan County's paperwork to do what we need to do. So I'm proud to report the paperwork is done. Tonight's hearing has been duly posted in the Lake Sun in accordance with RSO 137, and the insertion was the 15th of August. So tax hearing and Hancock reduction, I can go into this more in depth when we get to that point in the agenda, but the CPI came in at 2.9, while the increased valuation came in at 3.5869. which forced us into a rollback under the Hancock Amendment. General revenue will be reduced from 0.7905 cents to 0.7853 cents. I anticipate right now our new money will be in this, and I want to point out when I say our new money, I still take down a certain percentage that I feel that we're going to flex, like 98% in Camden County, 94% in Morgan. So I don't budget 100% ever when I do the district budget. So I'm anticipating right now about $227,000 new money coming in next year. We'll be short about $23,000 with the rollback. So when Hancock happens, you always get new money. You just don't get as much as you should have. So I included that memo in your packets, and I'll go more into this when we get to the hearing part, because I'm going to put the pro forma on the board too for those who are watching in TV land. Training for this month, officer development communications was taught by Mike Oakes. Hazmat ID, we had another grant funded class from the state. Fire Officer 4 started today. Chief Weberg's attending that. Chief Odenwald and the Training Association will be putting together a Fire 1 and 2 class in the lake area. And while they will utilize our training ground, we will not be taking the full lead on this class. Training, Chief Weberg and I attended the Fire Marshals Association of Missouri's annual conference in Margaritaville last week. That gave us both investigator and inspector CEUs for our certifications. So when they're at the lake, they're really hard to say no to because they're easy to get to and out of. Good and welfare. Despite this being the first year since I've been chief that we had a rollback to our tax rate, the fact we did shows the amount of growth in our area. I would like to thank Kenny and Roger for their efforts. Two people doing the job they're doing, especially with Kenny having to do assistant chief stuff also, is no small feat, and they deserve every bit of credit they've earned. So thank you. Economically and financially, both the district and the area are doing well right now. This isn't so much a good, it's more of a welfare. This summer, the lake area has had 6 pediatric drownings, with 3 of those being fatal. And 3 of the 6 were in our district. Not the fatals, but 3 of these drownings. I'm currently working on a joint public safety announcement regarding child safety, and we'll be presenting it to the surrounding services. I'm hoping, what I'm really hoping for is that every police, fire, and EMS agency blasts us at the same time. And we just get the message out, because being proactive with your child and also getting early 911 is paramount to survivability. A couple of these have been searches that we were way late in getting dispatched to. So working on that. And finally, former firefighter John Baker, who served Sunrise Beach from 2008 to 2016, passed away unexpectedly on July 28th. John was well known in this community, and we were honored to hoist the flag in his memory at his celebration of life. 142 alarms for the month of July, 714 year to date. July yielded 2 structure fires, 9 natural cover fires, 82 EMS calls, 1 extrication, and 6 public assistance calls. Year to date, we've had 17 structure fires, 45 natural cover fires, 376 medicals, 9 rescues, 57 public assistance, and 6 water rescues. And that is the chief's report for 18 August 2025.
Do I have a motion to accept the chief's report?
Motion to accept the chief's report.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Fire marshal's report.
All right, fire marshal's report for the month of July. Inspections, we had 11 rough-ins, 19 finals, 9 site inspections, 3 fire blocking, 3 EPR grounds, 43 docks, a total of 88 inspections completed. Permits for the month, we had 28 dock permits come in, 20 building permits, 1 renewal, and 2 fireworks. Total revenue for the month was $10,962.04.
It's gonna throw us into a rollback again.
Year to date, docks, we've had 208 permits, building and permits, we've had 152.
renewals of 6 and fireworks of 7. Total, permits for the year is 373 permits. Revenue year to date, docks, we've got $15,747.50. Buildings, we had $63,746.63. Renewals of $150, fireworks of $850, and total revenue for the year of $80,494.13. And as far as anything else, the condo project down by Sellers, they've got a new contractor in it now, so I'm working with them, trying to get the project back in line again. They seem to be pretty good as far as who to work with and everything. I don't know really what happened with the old one, but they kind of stalled out for a while, but it's back on line again and they're rocking and rolling over there. So other than that, construction's still up good. Inspections was down a little bit, but I think the heat finally got to everybody and just slowed all the jobs down. From everybody I've talked to and everything, they're still busy. They just kind of been working a little bit. That's the end of my report for the month.
Kenny, just want to add real quick, Kenny is annually budgeted to take in on the line item 80,000 a year in permits, and he hit that in July. So just to put that into perspective, everybody will probably have another $150,000 a year in permits again this year.
Nice job.
You know, it's nice when the division pays for itself.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a motion to accept the fire marshal's report.
Motion to accept the fire marshal's report.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah, we have no unfinished business, so basically we'll move on to new business and the tax rate hearing and approval.
So before you guys move forward, I just wanted to kind of explain this because this is as far as I can tell, this is the first rollback that Sunrise Beach has ever experienced. Basically, the Hancock Amendment is designed to keep you from having a financial windfall as a government entity. And when your CPI gets, your consumer price index hits a certain amount, if your valuation goes above that, then that causes you to have to roll back your general revenue tax rate. So as I kind of said in the chief's report, you still get new money, you just don't get as much as you should have. So with that being said, our evaluation this year went up 3.5869%, and CPI was only 2.9%. So that reduced our tax rate from 0.7905. It'll roll us back to 7853 on the general revenue. On the, is there any questions about that? Or no? Okay. Good. On the bond tax, that's just based off how much we took in and how much is in the account, because the ultimate goal, as always, is next year we stop collecting the tax because the last payment should be all in the account ready to go in 2027 when it's paid off. So by the calculations of what we have in the account and what they say is owed next year, and based on our assessment, the state put us at 0.1426 this year. Last year we were at 0.1568. So they took us down almost a penny on the bond. So, which is fine. I mean, it's supposed to fluctuate because you're what you have in the account to pay off at the end. So, so the debt service is dropped almost a penny, and the general revenue also.
Any discussion, any questions?
You gotta open that up to public comment too, because it's a tax hearing.
Any public comment? Okay,
Please limit.
Now you can vote on it.
I have a motion to approve the tax rate as stated there.
Motion to approve the tax rate. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
But anything.
Okay, moving on, negotiation committee appointments, we need to decide how many people and appoint them to the negotiating committee for the union's contract.
Can I jump in there real quick?
Yeah.
You already have a number. By the bylaws, you need 2 board members on the
Two?
negotiation.
Okay.
So you need to nominate 2 people and approve them as a board to be on the negotiating committee.
Okay, do we have any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Denise and John. Both of them pretty knowledgeable in that.
Anybody else? I don't know, a vote's necessary.
Well, yeah, so Troy, since they're nominated, I would recommend you second that.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay. The, moving on to the, diesel exhaust removals proposal.
Yeah,
Station
so
2.
we've had a couple of different companies look at Station 2. Easy Electric, who's been doing everything here, was the only one that said they could actually do it, and they were ready to do it. But the proposal came in at $11,000. So since it's over my mark, I'd like to ask the board to approve that tonight so we can get that done. Basically what they're gonna be doing is they're gonna be putting in, louvers that will exchange the air in the engine bay at Station 2 so that we can reduce the cancer risk and the diesel soot, things like that. Station 2 is the only station we have that does not have a source capture system. They chose the air exchanger in place of the source capture when they built the station. But they never put anything on the opposite wall of the fan. So it creates a vacuum in the bay. And if you ever go to Station 2 and look at the insulation and that on the walls, it's all pulled off. Because when it used to run that fan, it would suck the insulation off the walls. So this actually eliminates that and brings fresh air into the building and gets rid of all the diesel air on the big fan that we got that we're not currently using because it destroys stuff. So I would just ask the board to approve the payment in the amount of $11,000 for the air exchanger.
Did you look into doing like we had before, the individual truck system where it was hooked to the exhaust?
So yeah, I'll be honest with you, I can't think of what the name of that is right now. I just talked to that guy at the Chiefs, Ward Smoke. I'm not a big fan of those because there's a lot of stuff you got to change out in those. And there is 2 schools of thought on that. If you talk to Ward, they say that it doesn't inhibit the truck's performance at all. But I know people that have had them that said it absolutely reduced the horsepower on the truck. So I'm just not a big fan of adding something like that to it. If we can remove it completely, kind of like what we did with 46, or we deleted all that stuff off the truck, I would love to do that to every one of our trucks.
Well, originally all it was a tube leading to a exhaust fan on a big, 6-inch.
Or stuff that we weren't, where we have.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the vehicle mounted one.
No,
I'm sorry. No, yeah, so
No, they have
that,
problems.
that's a whole other story there. Right now, if I did a source capture system at 2 house, it would probably run me in the area of $100,000 to $120,000.
Yeah, I figured.
Just to get that system installed. There are grants out there available, which we can apply for, no problem. But I would much rather get this installed and going now because we already have the system in place. We just don't have something to facilitate that air exchange. But we can certainly look at hooking it on. I did look at Station 1 and had Magnagrid come out and give me a bid, and they wanted $30,000 a station. And honestly, for what we're going to do, we could probably make it ourselves. But Kenny's looking into the company that actually put that in, and we're going to see if we can't get the parts for the existing hoses we have.
Okay.
So that's at Station 1 and 4. But Station 2, like I said, they don't have any of it, and we have to install that all new. And you're looking, that's going to be a chunk of money. So, and I'm not against it because I'm not against the cancer stuff at all. I would love to have it. But this is, for lack of a better term, this is a quick fix that works with doing this, so we can get that air exchanged in the bay. So, yeah, if you want to.
So I worked with Easy Electric on it, we kind of developed what it was. So, John, if you remember that when that building was built, used to, when they opened automatically kick on this fan to, do that. Well, there was a problem with that was it would auto close the doors also. And we had it auto close on top of the truck once, on the ladder because it didn't trip the sensors right. So they unhooked them doors, from that system. We're gonna probably re-hook them back up. But another part of the problem with that building is there's no air circulation in it. So in the summertime it gets stupid hot in the bays and they can't clear it out. So we was always having to leave the garage door open a certain amount and try to get the negative out so you can blow air. So that's it's gonna be a dual system. So basically we're gonna put vents over underneath of the windows on the roadside. That'll be electronically controlled. When you kick that fan on, it'll open the vents up so they can get a cross flow at night through there also. So when they shut the doors down, it'll cool them bays off. Otherwise it just gets so muggy and humid in there, that it's ridiculous. So it's gonna be a kind of a twofold deal for this thing, not only to cool the bays down, but to get the exhaust out of there again in the wintertime and stuff. And hopefully used to the doors had to stay open a certain amount of time before they would go back down. So this way the doors can go right back down immediately, and the system could shut back off immediately as within a very short period of time, and then vents will open up enough to keep that negative pressure down in that building, so we're not tearing insulation off. It's designed to go.
Any discussion? Now I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I was second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do we have any public comment? Do we want to go to closed session?
I would recommend, let me and Mike do some more legwork on this. But we
Okay.
won't get too much into the weeds on that. Like I said, he may walk in tomorrow and it'd be
Yeah.
a nothing burger, so, yeah, if we could just, I'll advise the board as we move forward.
Okay.
And just to add to, item D under new business, now that I know who my representatives are gonna be, I'll get a hold of the shop and I'll get some dates and see what works for everybody, and we'll get the first meeting set up.
Okay.
Well, if the thing doesn't get resolved, our next month's meeting, let's put it on the closed
Yeah.
session agenda.
Yeah.
Anything else? There's no further business.
I mean, listen, I'll be around tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Oh. hold on.